Standard 1.3 meets, I can demonstrate the use of dimensional analysis to convert a measurement with metric units with prefixes to another metric unit with prefixes. So in order to start here, we're going to need to know a little bit about the metric system, and we're going to need to start to set up our problem. So to set up my problem, I'm going to start with what I'm given. I'm given 67 kiloseconds. So now kiloseconds is something we're probably not very familiar with because we don't measure anything in that amount of time. But think about it as kilograms, right? That's something that we're a little bit more familiar with when we're talking about mass. Okay? Doesn't matter if it's grams, doesn't matter if it's second, doesn't matter if it's liters, right? Any of those metric units with a prefix in front of it, we're going to convert the same way. So I'm going to set up my next parenthesis. If I'm starting out with 67 kiloseconds and I want to cancel that out, right? Because 67 kiloseconds is the same as saying that over 1. Because if it's over 1, right, anything divided by 1 is itself. So if kiloseconds is on the top, I want to put kiloseconds on the bottom so that I can cancel it out. One thing I know I can turn kiloseconds into is seconds. I set up another parenthesis because I'm not quite done with seconds yet. Seconds is on the top in this parenthesis, so I want to put it on the bottom in this one, and I can turn seconds into centiseconds. Now that I have all my units laid out, okay, I can put in some numbers. I always put the 1 next to what's larger. So kiloseconds is larger than seconds. Seconds is larger than centiseconds. So right now the 1 is on the bottom for both. That's not always going to be the case. Whatever number is larger or prefix is larger, I always put the 1 next to it. By putting the 1 next to what's larger, I avoid having to use any decimals. Now, for every 1 kilosecond, 1,000 seconds fits into it. For every 1 second, 100 centiseconds fits into it. Again, we can think of this as kilometers and meters, meters and centimeters. The prefixes are the same, and that's what matters, not as much the unit. Now, before I do my math, I want to make sure that my units are going to cancel out correctly. So kiloseconds and kiloseconds are going to cross out. Seconds and seconds cross out, which means ultimately my unit is going to be centiseconds, which is what I'm looking for. To do my math, I take 67. 1,000 is on the top, so I multiply by it because it's on the top. I don't need to divide by 1 because dividing by 1 gives you the same answer. 100 is on top, so I multiply by it because it's on the top. I don't need to divide by 1 because dividing by 1 is going to give you the same answer. Okay? If I move my decimal or I plug it into my calculator, whichever I'm more comfortable with, I should end up with the answer of 6,700,000. Now, the most important step at the end here is to make sure that I put my unit.